Capital Rap Battles. We back in the 613. One up. Cocktail Pub, Ottawa, make some fucking noise! Yeah!
A1, Day 1, Beastmode, Moss Band.
Former Beastmode champ, man, that's a real one right there. Battle to my right, introduce yourself.
Yo, it's Teddy KGB. Rest in peace, Corms the Cancerous. Let's fucking do this.
I told you all that reckless behavior gonna leave you in a mindless state. Now I've arrived in place and my mood decides your fate. I'll let you describe my taste and assume that I just hate, cause you can't neutralize your faith or lose your biased ways. But now we're here. What you gonna do about it? I'll just wait. Nothing? Due to the time restraints, I guess I'll keep going with my round. That's what I thought. Respect to specs. If I was rude, then my mistake. But that was me and him, and this is you and I today. So if there's something you feel you need to do, my guy, don't wait. Utilize this space to make a move like Drake. Spew a time and place, then put your dukes beside your face. Otherwise, next time you decide to scrutinize my name from your computer while you're safe, think back to this. Review and wind the tapes. I'm giving you a chance to swing that you declined to take. So if I see you say a thing, it only proves this guy's a fake. And next time you incite, I'll lay a two-step on your face like I was brewing wine from grapes. But with this, but if I swung, would this guy run? High percentage it happens unless he's lying flat on the deck. The only way I'm clutching air is if Teddy's tucking tail like a violinist after the set. But I'm showing restraint right now. And if you try me, I'll be not as inclined. You get whipped into shape like Optimus Prime. I'm not as inclined. You get whipped into shape like Optimus Prime. An agnostic mind that'll feed you to the masses like the body of Christ. Cargo plane full of raw white. I'm high key crossing a line. Verse LMS, you said you'd dot his I's if he crossed the T. I'm already sick of this dude. Mr. T here runs an online league too. I pity the fools. Cross the T. Did you mean that in a biblical tune? Because in that case, I guess crosses and T's hit a little different for you. See the difference in moods? You ain't find nobody as relaxed pre-match. I see cats going through every stage. They get a VIP pass when we clash. I could keep jabbing till he's tapped like tree sap. And don't make it back to where his queen's at like bee traps. And the shit'll all bubble. And don't make it back to where his queen's at like bee traps. And the shit'll all bubble from scratch like a flea bat. But we wouldn't be scrapping if I had it my way. Now they gotta throw roses on Teddy like it's Valentine's Day. But I concede. Unsurprisingly, you were a lot more hyped for tonight than me. But that's because to get on my level, you had to pay a license fee for piloting. Do 1,000 hours flying trying to reach heights you might have seen one time in your wildest dreams. And to get on your level, I tried to find a team with a specially designed machine so I could breathe in the high degree of antimatter from a dive so deep. Where I'm trying to lead is if you think this guy's elite, go drink a pint of bleach. You can't supply receipts of anything he's done that rivals me. You bugging, trying to get under my skin. Them promo tries were weak. Because what makes me tick is making you die slow, like Lyme disease. What? The irony. This guy could be my biggest fan, but hate too. You love me so much, Teddy, but that just makes two. Because you couldn't wait to be rated by me, and I couldn't wait to berate you. One.
Yo, make some noise for A1 right now. Round one, Teddy KGB. Let's go. Hold it down. Fight back, man.
Yo. 8 months this battle was booked. You wrote 1 round for that. So how was that? Kicking up your feet for a bit while the hours passed. I mean, were you researching so hard that your router crashed? Or did you just write half a bar and have a power nap? Now, I wasn't down to scrap NRA, a prey that you capping. You base the rules of this engagement on a single vague interaction. So ayahuasca? Nah, you must be chasing the dragon. Or you didn't want to get smoked at an event with so many Canadian classics. Now I was in the house ready to go. Even though you claimed that I planned it, yet you ghosted, even though Frenchie had a hotel where you could have stayed when you landed. But I guess after all this time, it ended up playing to a major advantage, because now you get no love after you lost heart and your rep hit a point where it was taking some damage.
Let's go!
Now, if you've been tracking thus far, this cat was in charge until his reputation fractured apart, and if you're graphing the arc, A1. Yeah, that's back at the start. So you can whine and complain and moan, eh? Your work still isn't classical art. You might think that you carry weight, but puts you on the spot, and no one's catching your bars.
Let's go.
Wow. And that's because half of your punches sound like they come from Hamilton numbers. Talking Civil War, talking Civil Wars and different forms of castles that crumbled. You know your ass is in trouble when he starts talking about the classes that struggled, or when one of his boys shouts, "Google it!" So you know to expand on the subject. You'll have a bar like, "You're a foo, G. I'm at my peak like a map of Japanese topography. Trained for years to slice you up, like I got a master's in oncology." Well, to me you sound like you bought an encyclopedia and only actually need the glossary. Your bars are trivial. Your bars are Trivial Pursuit cards. You'll grab a stack and read them off to me. Well, he loves his multis, right? So he'll go off like, "You'll fall faster than the Balinese economy after the atrocities enacted by the policies of cats in the autocracy that snatched it from democracy." Foreign actors who unlawfully left half of them in poverty, never actually acknowledging the factors and commodities like the taxes and bureaucracy that crashed the system probably. And dude, do you see how this has to be a comedy? I mean,
Let's go!
I'm sure to most of your peers that you pass is very scholarly, but that won't stop this head from getting schooled in practical psychology. I know you think you're well read, but to me your act is just a novelty, because while you rattle off the facts, the fact is that you will never talk to me. Now we get it. You know history, and you think it's so interesting, but it's no mystery. It's no mystery. He works the Louvre into a verse and expects our brains to just explode instantly. But it takes him so fucking long to get to the point. And it's related to your opponent so distantly, so by the time you do, the audience just starts to groan miserably, take out their phones listlessly, because 20 minutes later, he's going on about how Germany's bringing the whole infantry to control Italy, but mostly Rome, Sicily, the Vatican, and the Pope's ministry, and how that changed the direction of the whole coal industry, which he describes so vividly. Only to end on a bar like, "And that's economically why you have no synergy." So no, love is right. You're the type that I more than despise, a self-proclaimed mature intellectual rapper, showing us no shortage of pride. But you like to pick and choose the facts that you like, acting as if they were yours to describe, and take the ones that you don't and act as if it was just the lore of the times. Wow. Well, in this story, you're just a guy. You're not a rapper, because I've never heard of you actually recording a line. You can't be mature or intellectual, because it's clear you obviously don't source what you find. And you'll never be a leader of your own people again when they beat you like the Lord of the Flies.
No, we got a fucking battle, man.
Everybody makes some noise for Teddy, huh?
Let's go, A1.
Grab 2 on A1 whenever he's ready.
Let's go. Hold it down. Hold it down.
I said...
Get him.
Get him
Teddy... I said... Teddy KGB. Another word for bucket like racing seats. Arrogance got me disgusted, like anything to do with the fucking Maple Leafs.
Let's go.
You are the most bottom of tiers. Awkward and weird. I don't know who the fuck got in your ear, but there's only so many bars we can hear from Ari Shafir. You're so damn boring. I bet your favorite wrestlers are Lance Storm and William Regal. You're a fucking wig and guitar away from sitting in a circle with some people singing Lesbian Seagull. You stay with a bunch of feminine feeble, I only eat vegetable people. And I never trusted that whole umbrella like Resident Evil. And you wonder why I neglected this thing. Maybe I just made you wait until it made sense for me. That's the game, bro. You know how to pendulum swing. I had to go up and come back down so we could get in the ring. Let's be honest. I was talked into this way before I leapfrog what you did. You've been stagnant. It took a negative for me to force a positive for you, like the 3 laws of Newton. You could log in Google on my computer, type Teddy KG, and it still wouldn't be prompting you in. Because you've been putting on that act longer than Roger Ewan. It's not amusing. And you across from a dude who's known for improving the cards like Coach Marvin Lewis. So if you start talking too convoluted, you get sent on an all-inclusive trip to the trauma unit where the doctors top your fluids and check the brakes for this mark like auto students. But go on and prove it. You a bold opportunist. Just know I know not to feud with, and what I draw give me shelter. Those are the blueprints. Let me slow walk you through it, so you don't cop excuses. You gonna soar into the orbit Gonzaga launched Crow Cop into with a broke jaw while using his own common movements. I'm saying, we gonna see your soul drop in loops like old Kanye music. I said, we gonna see your soul drop in loops like old Kanye music when I slap the whole non-congruent soul con influence out of you, Gold Bond included. And your bitch got tired of being stuck beside a cheapskate. Now she letting everybody come and go. She like the speed date. While you were at home writing your heart out for me, bae, was out there getting busted on more than a weed tray. What? Which is actually kind of odd because the broad sounds a little Walter Cronkite-ish, but with bronchitis. It's obvious she's got mileage because in the wrong light she's known to cause a rash of false Sasquatch sightings. I said I want rappers. Line them up and bring them along. Anything less, and this what you get. The difference is odd. I give a fuck if I got a belt or not. I'm still at the top. Mid-90s Rick Steiner in the ring, I'm a dog.
Let's go!
Let's go! And folks saying I compare myself to certain people. Not true. I don't compare myself to anyone. Y'all do. And it eats you alive, Teddy, that those comparisons are not you. But the fact is, in this battle, you ain't even top 2. It's me and the material I chose to not use. So what I'm saying is, technically the pressure's on you. You took this so personal. So the tension's from you. You can't accept that you're not exceptional. That gesture haunts you. And they want you to win, but they expect you not to. One.
Yo, everybody make some fucking noise, huh? Round 2 on Teddy KGB whenever he's fucking ready, huh?
Let's go, man. Let's go. We got a battle. Holy shit.
Let's go. Hold it down.
A1's top 10 Google searches. Why won't women fuck me? How to be alpha. What is a cuck? Ayahuasca flashbacks. Best fedoras of 2023. Funding a cult. Local milfs in my area. Muffins in bulk. And way at the top of the list is what the Jews are up to, where he's obviously been clicking on several hundred results. I mean, this guy is angry about the Jews. Man, they really make him upset. I mean, you ask him, he doesn't even really consider a bagel a bread. I mean, you pull out a dreidel. No. That is something that he takes as a bread. I mean,
Say that again.
he's angry about the Jews. Man, they really make him upset. You ask him, he doesn't even really consider a bagel a bread. You pull out a dreidel. That is something that he takes as a threat. I mean, he sees Bernie Sanders on TV, and immediately just starts shaving his head. But you want to talk about how the Jews are persecuted? Well, he'll show minimal interest. But you want to talk about the Titanic, and he'll say, yo, that hit an iceberg, and you don't think that berg is a little suspicious? He'll be out for dinner, loving it all, saying shit like, this is delicious. And then he finds out it was made with kosher salt. And all of a sudden he's flipping the dishes. So I decided to play the role of evil arch-Jew, performing a sacrifice in the form of a battle rite, taking out this former cult leader in front of his ragtag assortment of acolytes, inform the Illuminati network I control. It's time to send this soul to the afterlife, and then it's red dot, headshot, from a fucking orbital satellites. Now the best part of this is truly the best part. The best part.
Hold it down.
The best part of this is I wrote it all before I figured out that you were pro-Hitler. Go figure. But he's all online like, sure, he's killed millions of people. But at least he drew a couple dope pictures. Of course, he's online having that Kanye conversation. The whole thing just gets him so triggered. In fact, all you gotta do is mention the media, and you can watch as his face just starts to implode inward. You wanna know, the fact of the matter is that I wouldn't have known any of this if you just wrote quicker. But while everyone else was sipping for Megan Thee Stallion, you decided to go Hitler. And what's ironic is that you wrote a novel in the comments in the process of trying to defend your own image, and yet somehow it still took 8 months to fill up one round full of what was obviously just your old fillers. The worst thing you could say about me is I call myself a god at rapping, but since then, God, what happened? You lost some matches, had your title taken, and your fans stopped reacting. You lost some traction, went from atop the mountain to a flop and has been. You slipped too far, and now it's been 2 cards, and your own league doesn't seem to want you at them. Riding for Yeezy, well, after the Yeezys are not in fashion. We watched you go from A1 to Yay1. All laughed as we watched it happen, because you made a clown of yourself online. Managed to turn it into an odd attraction. And that god him canceled when he put on a show and an actual American god attacked him. Because Thesaurus, one of the best battle rappers in the world, called you dumpster cheer. That must have been tough to hear. I mean, you were having such a year. But by the end of it, you had fucked up. That much was clear, because you lost the title, your reputation, and proved to everyone that you are incredibly fucking weird.
Everybody make some fucking noise. It's round 3 on A1. Whenever he's ready, we got ourselves a crazy battle, huh?
Go. I need you to know, I ain't even here for you, dude. I told Frenchie a year ago I would do this. Here I am doing it. Consider this some good juju. Wow. And we already knew what you do. But I don't fit that category. I hope so. I don't fit that category. You probably expected some name flips from me, huh? That shit's boring. And I seldom act according to expected active norm. I understand pressure passes. Death is natural. That's the course. And it don't scare me half as bad as what happened before we turned the calendars Gregorian, or what happened in wars before we factually recorded them. See, you have this rapport with the modern flashy story that the Torah passed the torch to when you have this rapport with the modern flashy story that the Torah passed the torch to when the rabbis retracted chapters and scorched the caverns that they stored them in. I ain't trying to give no crash course to them. That shit's easy picking, like apple orchards. But you think I'm the devil, right? Well, let's dabble in some ordinance. You could be my passenger aboard, paddling the river of flame with a dead mind playing something sad on his accordion. I hope you can matador the trapped souls grasping for you as we pass the auditorium where the posthumous clamors and orchestra sound like a band is forming. It's the minor euthanasia with the ghost of Jack Kevorkian. Lucifer, Baal, Satan. It never mattered much what form it is. The devil was never real, Teddy, but evil is, and you going back and forth with it. Okay. This even going down is a sin. The crown versus the cringe. A marked assassin versus some target practice, but overkill like firing howitzer rounds at a tin. They wanted me to give you a shot, right? So I allowed them to wish. Turns out what it is a grenade rolling up on the ground with no pin. How much do I hate you, Teddy? How to begin? Technically, I already denounced how you live. So next I'll take a dreidel and melt it down to a malleable flint, make bullets out of this shit and give a round to your kin. You act like you're Jesus out here. I doubt that you're him. And that makes me want to crawl out of my skin and carve the sign of the cross upside down from your chin and turn the outfit you're in into the Shroud of Turin. But there's some shit you don't want me to speak about. Too bad, the secret's out. You act like my only choice now is be devout or be devoured. But those types of decisions make people cowards. When push comes to shove, it's like Bush in '01. Either keep the power or keep the towers. So fuck it. Wow. So fuck it. Nothing is real about your beliefs except the culture that you take from. Hebrews were a different shade once, and that should maybe say something. You asked me not to use Jew bars against you because you hate them. So I ain't use any Jew bars against you, Teddy, because you ain't one.
Man, everybody makes some fucking noise. Final round on Teddy KGB whenever he's ready.
So, pause you for a second. Beastmode.
Let's go.
Y'all have a pattern. And it's time somebody changed the tempo. You're a bunch of yes men. And when it comes to good bars, y'all became forgetful. Gave A1 a false sense of security. Walking around wearing those fake credentials. But even in your own echo chamber, pow! I guess somebody made the chamber echo.
Okay.
Now I will make this clear. It'll be refreshing to burst your bubble like a great Prosecco, but you got no style, no flow, and barely managed to hold it together with the main essentials. So putting a belt on you, to me, well, basically that was just a waste of metal. And then you got real high strung, went out on a low note. Man, what a lame crescendo. The only value you had to the league is that you bully the fans that you're in control of. Like, hey, thanks for coming to the battle, Frenchie, but still haven't hit your quota. Charging performers at the door, giving them drink tickets like, hey, go pick a soda. You're gonna need it. It's 45 degrees in Cinecycle and the air conditioning's toasted. He'll say, we're not asking for much. Just want you to like and subscribe. And repost every single battle flyer until you start to feel lifeless inside. So it's donate to the cause, pay at the door, and make sure to hype every line. Well, until then, I guess the Beastmode intellectual property isn't something that you have a right to describe. Wow. But hey, if you join the Patreon, Pep's mom will give you a pick of cannolis. You come to a live event, and for the rest of your life, Riz is your homie. You sell 3 tickets, and we can promise you a picture with Joey. And bring 30 friends. Bring 30 friends, and we absolutely guarantee you'll get a fuck. And you sell 30 tickets, and we absolutely guarantee that we'll ask Yasmin to give you a blowy. Now, I didn't come here to give you the business on building a business. We both have similar interests, but there's a critical difference. Our outfit holds down its people, respects their biggest commitments, and yours takes the money you make and splits it up amongst the friends that you spit with. I mean, am I lying? Then how did Diz get ellipsis? Why are you still performing in places that can only seem to fit single digits? And then you got Joey battling A-Ward, and oh shit, that's right, we pretend that never existed. Because when it's your boys getting bodied, the battles get vaulted before it can get to the critics. And so how come Beastman's front man and representative sounds like he's on 100 grams of edibles? You mumble half your sentences and barely fumbled past some veterans. You think you've got signature style, but to me you show an utter lack of penmanship, and you wouldn't know it because your crew hypes you, even though they don't understand your references. Because it's no surprise to me you think you're something that you're not. It's no surprise to me you think you're something that you're not. You can't get through half a bar without touching something hot like whoo. In fact, you got a whole round of sound effects that are coming out the squad. You got beast modes and bird calls and even A's coming from Italians in the mob. So stop pretending like the reach of your network is so vast and large, especially when you're in a league that can't even seem to rap at bars. And now, when I murder you in front of an actual audience, I guess we'll all catch a charge. Oh, no, not like that. What I mean is Wheezy, the head of the league, is coming around with the machine so you can tap your cards. So stop treating everything in your little battle league like it's a masterpiece. You're soft, so I'll take it out in one shot with this missile past the fleet. And that's how I'm rearranging A1's letters and numbers, like a cryptographic key. By putting the brand to his chest, they'll be calling this a graphic T. Time.
You did amazing. Yo, make noise for all those right now, man. That was incredible. A1, Teddy KGB.
Let's go.